Hello Deutschlerner! Welcome to the sixth and final video in my series, The Iceberg of German Fluency. We've explored the surface of the iceberg at the A1 and A2 levels, descended into the deeper waters with B1 and B2, and we've refined our expression at C1. Now we've reached the bottom of the iceberg, C2. This level is the holy grail of language learning, almost native-like fluency. At C2, you can express anything you want, however you want, and adjust your tone, grammar, and vocabulary to fit any context, casual or formal, academic or artistic, heated debate or poetic reflection. As always, this video is broken down into 4 parts. A general overview of the C2 level, the official CEFR description and what it really means, the grammar topics that mark true mastery, and the conversational and communicative skills that define a C2 speaker. Let's explore the bottom of the iceberg. First, a general overview. At the C2 level, you're considered to be a proficient user of the language. This doesn't mean that you're flawless, it means that your German is no longer limited by language. You have full control. You can read Goethe and understand stylistic choices. You can negotiate a legal contract. You can tell a joke, defend a thesis, or quote philosophy, all in German. Your vocabulary now exceeds 16,000 words, and you've likely studied German for 1,000+ hours across several years. This level is typically required for translators, interpreters, professors, and anyone who uses German at a native or near native level. Let's go through the CEFR description line by line and break it down to the real-world examples. Listening. I have no difficulty in understanding any type of spoken language, whether live or broadcast, even when delivered at fast native speed, provided I have some time to get familiar with the accent. You can follow a rapid-fire podcast, a political debate, or a comedy sketch, and you don't need subtitles. Reading. I can read with ease virtually all forms of the written language, including abstract, structurally or linguistically complex texts such as manuals, specialized articles, and literary works. You can read technical manuals, interpret poetry, or critique philosophical essays and notice subtle implications, humor, and style. Spoken interaction. I can take part effortlessly in any conversation or discussion and have a good familiarity with idiomatic expressions and colloquialisms. I can express myself fluently and convey finer shades of meaning precisely. Whether you're chatting at a bar, negotiating with a client, or debating politics, you can participate naturally and spontaneously. Spoken production. I can present a clear, smoothly flowing description or argument in a style appropriate to the context with an effective logical structure which helps the recipient notice and remember significant points. You can give a TED Talk, tell a gripping story, or present a nuanced argument with the style to match the audience and the subject. Writing. I can write clear, smoothly flowing text in an appropriate style. I can write complex letters, reports, or articles which present a case with an effective logical structure which helps the recipient to notice and remember significant points. You can write everything from formal business reports to blog posts, critiques, reviews, and short stories with tone, rhythm, and style. Necessary grammar. At C2, grammar isn't all about knowing the rules, it's about bending them on purpose. Everything you've learned before comes into play, but now you focus on nuance, register, precision, and rhetorical effectiveness. Verbs, Konjunktiv 1 and 2, used interchangeably, accurately, and layered. Man behauptet, hat den Vertrag bereits unterschrieben, obwohl gesagt hatte, würde es nicht tun. It is claimed that he has already signed the contract, even though he said he would not. Double infinitives with modal verbs fluidly and correctly. Hätte sie gehen lassen können. He could have let her go. Subtle usage distinctions, such as liegen versus legen or setzen versus sich setzen, but you're using it for stylistic control. Stylistic and literary verbs. Vermochte es nicht zu begreifen. He couldn't understand it. Das sei dahingestellt. That remains to be seen. Sentence structure. Nested clauses with multiple layers. Das ist das Buch, das der Autor, den wir gestern getroffen haben, geschrieben hat und dessen Stil mich begeistert. This is the book written by the author we met yesterday, whose style I love. Elliptical constructions. Kaum zu glauben, hard to believe. Je schneller, desto besser. The faster, the better. Cleft sentences and emphasis. Es war genau dieser Moment, der alles veränderte. It was this very moment that changed everything. Passive voice. Differentiating between statal and actional passive. Die Tür ist geöffnet. The door is open. Versus Die Tür wird geöffnet. The door is being opened. Impersonal passive with modal nuance. Es lässt sich nicht leugnen, dass. There is no denying that. Academic passive constructions. Es wird davon ausgegangen, dass. It is assumed that. Pronouns, specifically relative pronouns for tone and formality. Das ist jemand, dessen Meinung ich schätze. This is someone whose opinion I value. Indefinite and reflexive pronouns in abstract contexts. Irgendjemand muss es getan haben. Someone must have done it. Nahm sich selbst übel. He resented himself. Adjectives. Participle adjectives for elegance. Eine erschütternde Erkenntnis. A shocking discovery. Ein faszinierendes Phänomen. A fascinating phenomenon. Nominalized adjectives. Das Unbekannte. The unknown. Das Unvermeidliche. The inevitable. Comparative nuance. Ist weitaus überzeugender als erwartet. He is far more convincing than expected. Prepositions. Mastery of genitive prepositions, including aufgrund, due to, Ansichts, in view of, infolge, as a result of, gemäß, according to. Abstract prepositional phrases, im Rahmen dessen, within the framework of this, in Anbetracht der Situation, in view of the situation. Prepositional adverbs in precise context. Worüber, about what. Wovon, from what. Wofür, for what. Conjunctions, sophisticated connectors such as sofern, indes, dennoch, and wohingegen. Elegant transitions and argument flow. Nichtsdestotrotz, nevertheless. Folglich, consequently. Darüber hinaus, furthermore. Tenses. Shifts for stylistic purposes. Sagte, habe das Buch gelesen und werde es erneut lesen. He said he had read the book and would read it again. Futur 2 for educated speculation. Wird es wohl längst erledigt haben. He will have probably done it long ago. Reported speech. Mastery of layering reporting. Sagte, dass derjenige, der ihr geschrieben habe, zurückkehren wollte. He said that the person who had written to her wanted to return. Modal particles, used for fine-tuning the tone. Das ist ja kaum zu glauben. That's hard to believe. Wird wohl recht haben. He's probably right. Rhetoric and style. Parallelism, antithesis, and alliteration. Kam, sah, siegte. He came, he saw, he conquered. Formal versus informal register control. Ich möchte höflich anfragen. I would like to politely request versus Hast du das schon gemacht? Have you done this already? Strategic use of rhetorical questions. Wer hätte das gedacht? Who would have thought? Conversational and communicative topics. This is where C2 shines. You're expected to masterfully navigate any conversation, not just linguistically, but socially, emotionally, and intellectually. Here's what you should be able to do. Academic and intellectual. Analyze literary texts, philosophy, or theory. Was symbolisiert Gretchen in Goethe's Faust? What does Gretchen symbolize in Goethe's Faust? Present research or lecture content. Summarize abstract arguments with clarity. Professional contexts. Negotiate complex business deals. Lead meetings or seminars. Write and deliver professional proposals. Draft legal documents or grant applications. Ethics and debate. Discuss moral dilemmas. Darf man aus moralischen Gründen Gesetze brechen? Is it permissible to break laws for moral reasons? Evaluate both sides of a complex issue without bias. Use structured argumentation. Einerseits, andererseits. On the one hand, on the other hand. Dennoch, nevertheless. Culture and society. Compare socio-political systems. Comment on historical patterns or cultural shifts. Analyze political speeches, films, or social media trends. Was sagt dieser Film über die deutsche Gesellschaft aus? What does this film say about German society? Expressing personal voice. Tell personal stories with flair, rhythm, and reflection. Use humor, irony, and sarcasm appropriately. Adjust tone for the audience, such as a child versus a politician or a stranger. Creative and formal writing. You can write essays, blogs, critiques, and short stories. Use stylistic tools like suspense, foreshadowing, metaphor. Vary sentence structure, punctuation, and voice deliberately. Spontaneity and recovery. Recover gracefully from misunderstandings or slips. Paraphrase naturally if you forget a word. Respond to fast, unexpected conversation turns. If you've reached C2, congratulations, you have officially conquered the iceberg. You've gone from introducing yourself to engaging in high-level debates, from Ich bin Lehrer, I am a teacher, to Es scheint mir, als ob dieses Modell eine neue Perspektive auf das Bildungssystem eröffnet. It appears to me as if this model opens a new perspective of the educational system. You've not just learned German, you've made it your own. This isn't the end of your learning, of course, but from here on, you learn like a native would, through conversation, culture, and curiosity. I still learn new words in my native language all the time, so there's no way that I have learned every word there is to know in German, but I possess the skills to figure it out and add new words to my repertoire. Check out the links in the description for more advanced materials, including reading suggestions, literary analysis guides, and formal writing practice. Danke fürs Zuschauen und Mitlernen. Ich wünsche dir weiterhin viel Erfolg und sage bis bald und auf Wiedersehen.